for another episode of Get a Load of This. From the Silver Creek Studios, I'm Jared.
I am Ryan.
And this is Joe.
Yes, back again. I know.
Again.
I think we'll get copyright infringement if we play that track.
Yeah,
but
well, we should work on that. I've been talking about that. Yeah, the Eminem song. Yeah, Guess Who's Back.
Oh.
You know. We could do Welcome Back.
Welcome back. Your dreams were yours.
Teed it out.
You still smell like pee. Oh, my God.
Staccato.
Funny story.
Did they just score? Did they just fucking score? Yes!
I don't think I want to incriminate. Who's the guy that wrote the Welcome Back Kotter theme song?
It was Jesus.
Yeah. John Sebastian wrote the Welcome Back theme song.
Wasn't John Travolta?
No. Probably could have, because it's not that really ornate of a song.
Maybe it was all the Sweat Hogs.
but
It sounded just like him. It sounded like Aaron Neville.
Just need to grow a big mole on your forehead.
Feifel.
You're right there.
Feifel, the American Tale.
But John Sebastian went into rehab
right after that song.
I don't know about when. And he went into a rehab facility.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome. Not the rehab shit, but the Chiefs scoring.
He went into a rehab facility in the Bay Area. And somewhat, I don't know, I think it was later, Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead also went into rehab. I think I'm getting this story right. I might be fucking it up.
Maybe.
They stayed in the same room.
What?
Somewhat later, a family member of mine went into rehab. Stayed in the same fucking room.
What?
With them?
No, they were gone. they were.
Oh, well, that's like staying in Whitney Houston's murder scene.
Something like that. I might be fucking up that story, but there's some connection with this family member of mine and Jerry Garcia. I know the Jerry Garcia thing's right as far as the rehab facility, but John Sebastian, it may have just been a friend.
Jerry doesn't seem like a quitter, though.
No, he was just there just to kind of get clean for
yeah. He's there signing autographs. Look at Mahomes going.
So this
sick.
You know, so breaking the fourth wall down here again. You know, we're recording episode whatever number this is, and it's still 3 days before Thanksgiving. We just happened to do 2 episodes this night because I'm gonna be out of town next week. I'm gonna be in sunny San Diego. San Diego. Yeah.
Founded in 1904 by the Germans.
This is true. This is from what I understand.
Means whale's vagina.
Whale's vagina.
I disagree.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going out to Old Whale's Vagina in a week, and so we're knocking out a couple here. Yeah, it'll be warm.
Yeah,
and I'll get to eat what's that burger? The monster style.
The Big Kahuna.
No, there's what's it called? The fucking cheeseburgers out there. It's like McDonald's. I can't remember the name of it.
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. Yeah, I'm gonna eat an In-N-Out burger. That's what my plan.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
So I'm flying in on Monday night. I gotta go to work on Tuesday in the office, but I get in like at 8:30 on Monday night. I'm getting in my rental car, going directly to an In-N-Out, and then I'll go to my hotel and check in with my bag of stinky fucking In-N-Out.
And then just sit there and be a glutton in your room.
Yeah, and then I'll go to sleep and, wake up and go to work the next day. And then, who knows? And then I got a Christmas
while you're
party.
Sitting on the sunny beaches somewhere, we're going to be freezing our asses off in St. Louis.
All the times that I've been to San Diego, which is more in the past 3 years than I have in my entire life, I maybe been to a beach twice because every time I go there it's for fucking work. It's more than 3 years, but I've been there a lot. But I never get to do anything. I never get to do any of that shit because it's always work. It's conventions. Right. And it's great. I mean, the weather's nice. It's wonderful. But anyway, so we're recording this 3 days before Thanksgiving. Where was I going with this? I was going somewhere with here. The Rams game's on. Rams, Chiefs, and that's what Joe's excited about.
I'm a new convert to Chiefs fan. I'm still on the fence about it, but it feels good to be dating a team again. I just, I'm a
dating her though. You haven't put the ring on it.
No, fuck no. But I like a team. Yeah, I know a lot of stats and all that shit, and I should probably play fantasy, but I like teams.
Right.
I was telling Ryan, I found myself this year watching the Rams again. Just
my brother's that way. He really likes them.
It's different coach, mostly different players.
These fucking uniforms are ugly.
I still hate this whole mustard yellow thing is stupid. But
fucking nail this asshole.
But this is probably, as for the NFL, it's probably the biggest game
of the year.
might be outside of obviously playoffs and
we did
Super
say
Bowl.
that last week or whenever they played the Saints. That was the biggest game.
But
2
I
weeks
think
ago.
this game, I mean, the NFL's made a big deal of it. They brought in the A team for the refs. They moved it from Mexico back to L.A. The field was kind of shitty. But
kind of. They were like, there's no... we wouldn't even let anyone play on this.
You're fooling yourself if you don't think the NFL can afford to fucking truck in all the sod to resod that field and have it striped off by the time they were playing this game tonight.
Sure,
they
but
definitely
why?
could have. Well, because they were trying to do the international thing.
I know.
But the NFL wants to suck Stan Kroenke's ass, and they're like,
you're right, they do.
Let's put it back in L.A. because you want the... Because
well,
now
they're going to set up their shop in
teams.
that stadium.
Right. So they got 2 one-loss teams. They want to give the new flagship team of the NFL, which is the Rams, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I want it to be, but that's how the NFL seems to be acting. And they're going to bring them back. Oh, yeah, you want to play in L.A.? Because you want to win this game? All right, yeah, you can play it back there. We'll tell Mexico to go fuck themselves.
It was their home game anyhow.
Right. But it was supposed to be played in Mexico.
Right.
See, I think it's... I don't know. I'm skeptical
conspiracy
theorists about the NFL. I think there's some bad shit at play. They just scored.
I know.
Look at that, man. This is how many fucking points are scored? What's the over?
73 was the over.
Oh, we're at 91.
I know.
Oh, no, 90. We're right at 90 now. We'll be at 91 in a second.
Right now, our fans are like, what are we listening to?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they already know the outcome of this game, so we're getting all excited about it. But,
hey, jackasses, we know the Chiefs win.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. But
so anyway, we'll try
we wanted to talk
temper
about
our excitement about the game here.
Yeah, well, we talked about it's getting cold here. December's coming up.
Yeah.
You can leave it on. And we were kind of reminiscing about the good old days when we actually got significant amounts of snow that stayed around for more than a day.
And I didn't have to drive in it.
Yeah, right. Could just get off school.
Before storms were named.
Right.
Now they all have a fucking name. This is like Adolf the snowstorm or whatever that just came through. I don't know. Something like that.
So I remember it, but only barely, because you guys are way older than me.
Right.
The storm of '82, right?
Yeah.
So
the blue
she
was a dandy.
What was that like? Describe that. I remember a little bit, but
it was a southern storm, and it was wet, and it came
Cold
in
and wet.
It came in hardcore. I think it was 28 inches.
No,
might have been 24.
Really?
Yeah,
that much?
Well, I could tell you this. There's a picture of me when I was a kid. So I was about seven. And when my dad shoveled the driveway.
You weren't 7 yet. It was January of that year, so you were still 6. You would have turned 7 later that year. Yeah.
So
it happened on my 7th birthday.
Well, there you go.
It was January 27th.
On your birthday?
7th.
Damn, that would have been cool.
Well, except for that I was at my grandma's house. My parents left me there for the weekend, and I went to church and stuff with my grandma, and that Sunday night, I think, is when the storm hit, and my birthday was on Monday. And the storm hit, and they knew the school was going to be canceled, so my parents were like, well, just let the kids stay there. Me and my sister stayed there. And well, then this fucking blizzard hit. And now, I think Monday was my birthday, and I'm stuck. I'm stuck at grandma's house. And I think it was not until like...
Cancel the party.
Yeah, it was like Wednesday that my
Tell
dad...
the clown to stay home.
Right. My dad borrowed someone's Isuzu 4-wheel drive pickup. I remember him coming to... I thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever. I don't even know what kind of car. It was Isuzu something. Roadie. It wasn't the Roadie. It was before the 82. I don't know what it would have been, but it was something foreign, 4-wheel drive. It was cool. And he showed up and picked us up like on Wednesday. And there was still a shitload of snow on the ground.
There was... Going back to what I was saying was when my dad shoveled the driveway, I could walk up the snowbank that he shoveled and step onto the roof of my house.
Wow. Yeah.
And then it was I think it was earmarked, or you know how pictures had the date on them. It was a picture of me out in front of the house in April, and we still had snow
on the ground. Yeah.
Not like clumps of it, like
from where
grass
the big
was growing,
pile was.
and we had these big yucca trees or whatever, like yucca plants, and they were huge, and there was still fucking snow pile. And that's in April.
Crazy. So according to STL Today, the Post-Dispatch website, says the record book list in St. Louis, like this, I guess they're talking the city, was 13.9 inches, but South County, where where I lived, and like Jefferson County, that was 18 inches down there. I don't know what it was up north in Florissant, but it was, it was 14 inches, easily. I mean, that's a lot of fucking snow. I mean, you get a foot of snow, but then you get the drifts. I mean, I remember the drifts. I remember the house we lived in then, and on the side of the house, the drifts were high, and there wasn't that big of a hill. But after the drifts came and it kind of got all packed in, we had a big fucking hill all of a sudden. And you're right. I don't know if we could get on the roof, but it was a big ass hill that if you could get up to the top of it, and for whatever reason, the snow packed real nice.
It was wet snow.
Yeah, and you could walk up it, and it was natural drifts. And
my dad told me a story about back when Lindbergh up in North County in the 50s, they would get such bad snow drifts up there that they would put all along Lindbergh on one side. I guess it would be the west side. Don't hold me to that. They would put up that orange emergency fence.
Yeah.
To cut down on the drifts.
Did you guys do any like tunnels or snow forts or igloos
definitely.
or anything? Yeah.
And 1,000 snowballs. And you'd spend all day making your arsenal and making your fort. For about 8 minutes, your hands were cold and you're pissed off, and you're like, all right, let's fucking do this. And then the first kid gets hit in the face with a snowball.
And it's all over. It's like,
I'm going in.
God, fucking Bobby got hit in the face again.
Way to go, Ricky.
Hit me with a slush ball, man. Yeah. That's a Bill Cosby joke, which we're not allowed to say those anymore. But Bill Cosby did a whole skit on snowball fights and getting hit with a slush ball.
Slush ball has a whole new meaning.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
It certainly does.
So does cocktail.
No, I remember doing
a cosmopolitan.
Yeah, I remember doing the tunnels and building the snow fort and being able to build basically anything because you had enough snow. And then later on, I want to say the late '80s, we had another snow like that I remember building tunnels through. And but yeah, we just haven't really had. That I can recall, I think before I had kids, it was probably like 99, 2000. We had a real good snow, and I think it was New Year's.
It was New Year's, you're right.
And I had friends staying at the house. It was New Year's Eve, so we had a party when I used to have a life, and we had a party, and this couple who good people, but they wouldn't leave, and it was like, well, the snow, and I'm like, all right, fair enough, so they stayed. Like one night, and then it was like, oh, it's still pretty snowy. Okay, 2 nights. All right.
What?
Hey, all the snow's gone now.
Get the fuck out.
You can go home.
You gonna wait till the trunks are okay to wear?
You guys just drove to Taco Bell. That means you can drive your ass out of my house.
Yeah, fuck that.
But they
you don't mind if I make a phone call, dude?
They just wouldn't leave, But we had a lot of fun. We drank a lot of beer, and it was a good time. But no, But no, there's just now it's all ice. Now it's all just junk. It's sleet. It's
we talked
annoying weather,
Off the air before we started the 1991 ice storm.
Yeah.
And what I remember about that was this smooth layer of ice all over the streets and yards, and then this kind of like the little pellets of ice on the top of it that was like ball bearings, and you could just take a saucer sled and run and jump, and then you just keep going indefinitely. There was nothing going to stop you from rolling.
So when that happened, my father owned a newspaper route, and we'd throw newspapers. And it was so awesome because you would barely even flick them out the window.
And they just slide
right up to the door, man.
Great customer service with no effort.
It was.
Now,
That's
when
awesome.
was the big ice storm, I want to say 8 or 10 years ago, that knocked out power and all these
That would have been like,
I
I remember that.
Yeah.
It would have been like, 6, 7.
Yeah,
maybe?
I know that my parents, they bought, they still do. They have like 8 coolers.
Yeah.
Because of that ice storm.
Really?
Because they had a deep freeze. They had their freezer in the garage. They had their freezer in the house, and they had all this meat and stuff, and they wanted to save it. So my dad, he drove to the store, and because power was out for several days, and he's like, we're not losing all this shit. So he went and bought a bunch of the cheapest coolers he could find at Walmart, and they got a shitload of coolers, which is always a good thing in my opinion. I'm a big fan of coolers. My wife disagrees, but go back to the 91 ice storm. It was a great storm. It was, I'm sure probably a lot of people had suffering or whatever, but there was a lot of comedic events. We had a dachshund at the time. I was 15. and the dachshund's name was Chadwick, but we call him Chad. And his legs were about 2 inches, 3 inches long, you know. And he was an awesome dog, a lot of personality, a lot of attitude. And our backyard was a slight hill. It wasn't a steep hill, but it was slight. And so ice storm happens, let the dog out. And he he came off the deck and just slid down to the bottom of the hill.
Damn near had to throw out a lifesaver to get him back.
And just watched him, you know, scurrying, trying to get. You're not catching any grip, you know. It was thick ice, and he gets all the way to the bottom. He's like, "Whew, fuck, what the fuck?" He's like, "Well, still gotta piss." So he pisses, and then my whole family, we watch him struggle to climb up the hill, and realize he's not making it. There's just no way this dog's gonna get back up this hill, and we can't leave him out there. So my dad had to put on his golf shoes.
Nice.
That would work great. I didn't think of that.
And he walks down the bottom of the hill, and he grabs a dog. And they hated each other too. From the day we got the dog till the day the dog died, my dad and Chad hated each other. And but so he has to go down and grab this fucking dog and drag him up the hill because it's not the dog's fault. But that's one of the most iconic moments I remember is that dog sliding down the hill and not being able to get back up, and then my dad having to chase after. That was a funny story. But then I also the storm had it had come and gone or whatever, but there were still giant piles of ice on the sides of roads, you know.
Well, it had snowed prior, and so that shit was all over snow.
Yeah. So even like the snow piles, like that were plowed up against like light standards,
they were covered in
ice, and they weren't going anywhere.
Right.
And so 1991, I turned 16. I got my permit, and I was
me too, but I was on the other side of 91.
Yeah, but so I'm learning to drive in this, and the roads were dry.
They were wet, yeah.
They were wet, but they weren't icy.
Passable.
Yeah, and so my mom, it was after Christmas, and we were going to the mall to do some returns, and we were driving her '87 Grand Am, and I'm driving on my permit. She's in the passenger seat.
CNC Music Factory on the radio.
Yeah, bumping with my mom, right? And and she turned around to look in the back seat for something, make sure she had a receipt or something. And I turned my head just for a second to see what she was doing, and I hit one of these snowbanks, which wasn't a snowbank at all. It was a fucking Titanic killing iceberg. And the right side of this Pontiac Grand Am went about 4 foot in the air and land and come back down, and I broke the front axle on this Grand Am. Man. So we stopped because
you had to.
Yeah, because we shouldn't have been going anywhere else. And I'm a 16, or not even 16-year-old. I'm a dumbass kid, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry. And she's like, that's all right, just get in the passenger seat. We're going back home. She drove the car home with a broken front axle. We made it, but it probably made shit worse, and it moved the whole front right fender up about 3 inches. And my dad yelled at us when we got home. And what the fuck happened? And a little bit of insurance fraud occurred because she was driving allegedly through that entire event. Because if it was me, then I'd have never driven. I'd still be catching the bus. But it was all because of that fucking ice storm in 91. Yeah, it was right after Christmas. It was early January.
I was listening to the Vanilla Ice tape at that point.
Or CNC Music. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Now we just had about 6 or 7 inches of snow here.
For a day,
you just got a dog that's only about 6 or 7 inches tall.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It did not go. Well, the fucking dog. I mean, I don't blame her because, we get, 6 inches of snow. You got to pee real bad. You go out and stick your dick in the snow and see how well you pee. Just, I mean, it's not going to go well. Yeah. So I don't blame her. She's a girl, and then she's low to the ground. You put your hoo-ha in the snow. You're gonna struggle, Yeah. So I go out there kicking snow away, trying to find her some grass that she can, and she still didn't like it because she's 10 weeks old. She's got little soft paws. It's fucking cold. I don't blame her. So she pisses in the house. She shits in the house. Whatever. I'm still working on that. But it did not go well. But it was cute. Made for good photo opportunities. The wife loved it.
Shitting in the house?
No. That's not cute. No. Actually, it kind of is because they're little bitty turds, and you can pick it up with a fucking Kleenex and you just drop it in the toilet. It's done. I don't want to condone it.
Llamas have little bitty turds too. I wouldn't let it shit in my house.
Yeah.
It is a whole different ball game from having a big golden retriever.
Yeah, I mean, if Archie was a shit in the house, then it's a fucking event. I mean, we're gonna have to get the backhoe out, and he dropped a load of crap in the backyard. I was going out to the shed. I told Jared about this before we started. That it's something to behold, man. I mean, this dog, he shits like a fucking human. I mean, like a large human,
like a bobcat.
I was like,
you got a mountain lion here?
I'm pretty sure the dog lost about 4 pounds in the backyard by the shed, and I pointed out to the kids, I was like, look at that. That's amazing. How
do you not know what one of the boys?
It could have been. I mean, well,
like,
I don't even think they're capable of that. I think they were like, I couldn't do that. I'm not capable of that.
How do you know when one of your neighbors?
It could have been. That's highly likely. No, but yeah, the dogs in snow, it's never good to potty train a dog in shitty weather. And you went through the same thing with your
When we got our dog, brought her home that day, we got about 6 inches of snow.
Yeah, it's never
Tried
good.
to take her out, and it's just a mess.
Was she a puppy then?
No, she was about 7 months old, something like that. So, I mean, she was
probably about the same size then, wasn't she? Or maybe a little smaller?
She was small. Not as small as Ryan's, but
right,
but yeah, that was a lot of snow for her to have to deal with. Plus, just a new environment and didn't know where to go. And we're trying to teach her how to go outside, and it's like.
Plus, my asshole kids have zero patience for this dog. It's like when you're potty training a dog, you got to go out there with it. You got to reinforce what it's doing as soon as it happens. And they just think you can open the door and then go play Fortnite and the dog's just going to figure it out on its own. It's like, no, you're trained. It's like having a baby. You gotta train this thing, and they're assholes. It's really very aggravating. So I'm the only one. I don't even think my wife's gotten the dog to shit outside yet, because I spend the time. I put in the time, man. I take the dog out there, and I'm in for at least 15 minutes.
Sure.
That's what I'm shooting for. So if after 15 minutes you still haven't shit, you're not gonna, But usually at about the 7 or 8 minute mark, she drops a deuce.
That's a pretty long time to wait outside.
Well, sure, but
7, 8, 10 minutes.
Yeah. She's also a little
especially
bit of a
in
princess.
Cold weather.
Yeah. Now she's got her little winter coat. She's got a hood. It's all good.
Very cute.
That's a fucking shame.
It's everything that I've been against for so long.
Right.
But
No, she's got a coat. It's awesome. She's so sweet.
She's got galoshes. She's got it all. No, not yet, but they're coming.
Is Archie getting used to her yet?
No, he fucking hates her.
Really?
He cannot stand that fucking dog. And he's and this has made him older. Losing his best friend, the other dog, was I think it really impacted him. And we thought, like, oh, we'll get him a puppy. He'll act like a puppy. Nope. He acts like the crotchety old man who wants nothing to do with this child that just keeps pawing at his face. And I feel like crap because, he just wants to exist, So, yeah, he's not happy. But every once in a while, when the snow was fresh, he went out there and he loved snow, and he was rolling around in it, and she was rolling around in it. And that was the one time since we've had her that they've played.
Yeah.
But after the snow went away, it was like, all right, fuck you, little dog.
See you next Christmas.
Yeah, dogs are, man. We put a lot of time into them.
So one thing we had to deal with lately, I don't know if you guys have to deal with this out where you're at. Do you hear the deer hunters, shotguns going off? This past weekend was the first.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear any.
No,
said she heard some.
Yeah.
You guys have farmland around you, but not really woods much. So I didn't know if you'd hear it.
No.
So right behind our house, we have woods, and there's a couple different farm
hunt
fields
right out there.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah, it's I know,
shotguns.
That's a little sketchy.
And so Friday morning was the first day of hunting of shotgun season here, and we heard about like 5:45. We could hear sort of off in the distance some shotguns going off. It wasn't too bad. But then right around 6 a.m., I mean, it sounded like it was in our backyard. Blam! Just the loudest boom goes off.
Probably was. Fucking
It
Hoosiers.
probably was.
As long as you don't hear pellets hitting the
10
windows.
seconds later, blam! And of course, the dog freaks out.
Oh,
I mean,
sure,
she already gets nervous. When she hears it off in the distance, she kind of gets edgy.
Yeah.
And when she hears that boom go off, man, she's just up, running around, running in circles, looking around, all the stuff that normally she would do to stay calm, hop up on the bed and curl up.
Right.
She doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to,
If dogs could talk, like you've seen Up, with the dog that could talk. It's like, what would she be saying? If she like, we are under attack, people. Everybody get down.
Right.
Duck and cover, people.
Yeah. She's definitely on it.
She's Radar
When the hunters
O'Reilly
come out.
of the dog.
She knows what guns are. I can tell you that. But yeah, so that was pretty annoying. And then the same thing Saturday morning. Blam, blam.
Yeah.
And it's like they must have been missing because they kept shooting repeatedly.
It's a shotgun. How could you miss? I mean,
Well,
are they using like a
they're
deer
shooting
slug?
slugs, so- and then they probably
so they don't travel far
they
enough.
see this thing 100 yards away and think they can hit it,
Right,
And then
because they're rifle
miss.
head.
Yeah,
So we're
And-
dealing with idiots. Is what
pretty
you-
much.
I mean,
I think
you
so.
basically would be better off shooting a handgun, but because you'd have at least the distance. But you aren't getting the distance with that.
Yeah. And these guys don't pick up a gun all year long and wait till deer season, and then they're not practiced.
I
at
can't
all,
believe
so.
that they're allowed to hunt right
I
out there.
know.
Who you don't
Well,
I
know?
don't know
because
who
of
the
the-
owner of that farm field is.
That's why they're shotgun. They ain't out there with 275s. They're fucking. They're not. They can't rifle hunt because.
See, I would think that there should be some regulations against that.
Well,
if
you
you're,
would think
if
because
you're
we're
within,
in the city limits. We're in
if
town,
you're within
but
so many yards of a residential neighborhood,
yeah, I know.
you shouldn't be firing off a shotgun.
I know,
you know,
sure.
I mean, that seems logical.
Well,
I talked to the mayor about that.
I talked to the buddy of mine. So I go deer hunting with a bow, and but I talked to a friend of mine who goes to the same property that I go to, but he was shotgun hunting this weekend, and he was in a blind, probably 50 yards from this tree line, and that tree line is the border of the next farmer's field over, and so that guy either the owner or he probably just let some friends come out just like we did. He's on the same tree line that my buddy's at, and he said he was in this deer blind and heard this blast go off that sounded like it's right there, and who knows what that guy's seeing. He's aiming at this deer. Meanwhile, you're sitting, behind the deer 50 yards back. So he said it was pretty nerve-wracking.
and that's why you just go buy your deer sausage.
Yeah.
Well, I normally do
It's
my
good
hunting
stuff.
at my local grocer.
Yeah. I'm not patient enough for hunting. I mean, I like fishing, and I'm patient for fishing.
It requires a lot of patience.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, I've
tough.
never have, and I don't intend to start anytime ever.
It was
you know?
definitely one of those things for years and years. I said, I have no interest in that. I do not want to sit in a tree stand in 40-degree weather or less, freezing my ass off, waiting for some deer to walk up to me so I can blast it. Like, no interest at
But
all.
then you found whiskey, and you realized
something happened, and I don't know. Suddenly, I decided, actually, I do want to do that. But
I like to go to different cities and do that same stuff, but at a bus stop.
just picking off whatever.
Wait
walks
until
by.
they walk up to me and shoot them right in the face with a bow.
Yeah. With a bow, no less.
No,
Yeah.
with a bow.
It's
Yeah,
more
like,
fun
hey,
with a
Robin
bow.
Hood.
Well, it's not. It's more sporting with a
Yeah.
bow.
no, I
Hey,
did-
Robin Hood, when's the 7:15 coming?
I talked to a buddy of mine at work. He's one of our loyal listeners. And he said in his neighborhood in, like, I want to say De Pere, a very populated area, they're allowing hunting in the city limits
Well,
because there's a problem
it's
with deer in their
overpopulation,
yard.
yeah.
They come in and
But
chew up their flowers.
To
and
get
whatever.
one of those licenses, you have to be.
I don't know.
I've heard something similar. I think it was like Chesterfield or something like that.
Something, yeah.
That it got so bad that they gave licenses to only certain people.
Okay.
Like you had to be. I don't know what the
There's certain
requirements
rules.
are.
You got to be elevated,
Right.
shooting down,
And
at
it's
the
all
ground,
bow.
whatever.
You're not out there with a rifle.
No, you're not out there with the
And
gun. It's a bow.
but it was mainly to just get rid of there because they were
Civil War.
overpopulated.
Cannons. That's all you're allowed to use. Civil War era cannons.
Howitzers and Tommy guns. That's all. Yeah, no,
Gatlin.
harsh language.
50. Yeah, you're allowed to scold them to death.
you get out of here, dear.
Yeah, pick up your clothes, you damn deer. Son of a bitch.
You know what we forgot to do?
What's that?
Drink some new beer.
We did. Well, we
I
can
think
do
we
that
should
now.
get on that. Let's do it.
Well,
We're only half an hour in.
all right. Fuck it.
What do you got for us?
Well, what I happen to have is I have a 7th Street Wheat ale.
This is also NOLA Brewing, right?
Right. You guys are going to have to share.
I'm going to have a whiskey. I'm good. I'm good on that.
Jared and I will try this out.
Okay.
It says lemon basil.
It's not lemon and basil. It's lemon basil. So that's just a type of basil. I think.
I wondered,
but
about
it's
that.
not very lemony. I've had this one. It's a lemon basil wheat ale, and I'll tell you what happened is that I went to a seafood shop, a seafood restaurant in New Orleans. I can't remember the name of it. Deanie's, I think, is what it is. And Deanie's has been around forever. Madden used to make it one of his main stops whenever he was down in New Orleans for like broadcasting the Saints game. And they have
Madden?
Yeah, they have a Madden room, but it's all just fried fish, fried seafood, fried oysters, whatever.
Madden.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good food. And so I went up to the bar because we had to wait for like a half an hour for a table, and the bartender was an asshole. But he gave me a menu, and I found 7th Street Wheat. Didn't say lemon basil on it at all. And I was like, I'll try a 7th Street Wheat. I like wheat ales, So he brings me a can and a cup, and I go over to the table with all my other peoples, and I poured the beer into the cup, and they all passed the can around, and they're seeing lemon basil. Mainly my wife, my mother, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds delicious." And so I got like one sip, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." And they start passing the cup. It never made it back to me. It was empty. It was
That's
a $9
a goddamn
beer.
shame. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, well, down at the restaurant, it was a $9 beer, and I was like,
But it's that.
yeah, it's this in a can. The guy gave it to me, just $9.
$9.
With rounded up. I tipped him
I'll have
like
a Coke
40
with no
cents or
ice.
something like that. Yeah. So
That's $7.
I went and bought another $9 fucking beer. But what we realized
That's
is that
$18.
this is it's a tasty beer. It's a tasty beverage. And it's
So I'm going to read this while you're opening yours.
Okay.
Named in honor of the 7th Street Wharf across the street from the brewery.
No shit.
This filtered wheat ale has pounds of fresh lemon basil added after fermentation. The light citrus taste with a hint of spicy herb on the back helps keep you cool during those hot summer days.
Yeah, I would say
which in our town is pretty much all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely a summer type beer.
Yeah.
It's real crisp, real refreshing.
I like the can, that kind of lime green,
it's
blue accents.
Well, I like it has like this banner, like almost like a Budweiser type banner across the top
That's what
of
I
it.
was thinking.
It definitely has some. It's cool.
Well, it definitely has a good look. I'll give you that.
It's only got a one finger head. Some lacing on the side of the glass.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That was cheap.
Well, that's
I'm
the look
sorry.
at it. Look at the way he poured his.
Well,
Yeah, you should have seen in the last episode. He
yeah,
had
I had like 4-finger head.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He had to wait a good 10 minutes to drink it.
But it is. From what I recall,
Now, this is a
very
little.
refreshing.
It's not as amber colored
it's a
as the
little
last
cloudy.
one, but it's murky.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that.
It's made out of that flood water down
yeah,
there in
right.
New Orleans, the Katrina
Yeah.
water. It's you get a little
treatment plant.
you get a little hops, a little barley, a little bit of malaria.
I'm curious.
all the water that runs down Bourbon Street after they hose it
down. Oh, man.
Yeah. That's some tasty stuff right there. A lot of character in that. We'll call it character.
That is definitely hearty.
Because you are a character doesn't mean you have character.
It is. I don't remember being this cloudy before, but I'm gonna try it out again.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's just as good as I remember it.
Yeah, that is good.
It's real clean. It's crisp. It's a refreshing beer. It's a beer that you can drink. I think you can drink that shit all day, all weekend.
Is that a cut in the grass kind of beer?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
really do. Here, I mean, I ain't got the herps or nothing.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Try it out, Joe.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've been drinking for hours.
Just pop that blister first, and then
Yeah. Here, let me
it
clean this off for you. Let me clean the pus off here for you.
Get some of his blood off there.
4.5% alcohol by volume. Yeah, it's good. It's so it's kind of weird. I was saying the last beer I thought tasted like what I think of a wheat ale.
Mm-hmm.
This is a wheat ale, but I thought the last one tasted more like that. It's
Well,
good,
and
though.
usually the wheat ales are a little bit murky like that. They have some sediment in them. You're supposed to roll the can or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Roll the bottle, whatever before you pour it.
Through a filter.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have a ton of aftertaste. It's which is a
Clean,
good thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Do you taste like a citrusy thing?
No, I don't. Taste
I don't either.
lemon
But
at
I
all
do
or
taste the
citrus.
spices. I taste like a
Okay.
spiciness, like the basil that
Yeah.
they're talking about.
Basil.
But the wife, my mother, and my niece, they all were like, "Oh my god, that's amazing! It's really good." I'm not saying it's a girly beer or anything like that, but I just think it's the type of beer that everybody would like.
Yeah,
it did come with a tampon, though.
Yeah, right.
If you didn't tell me that this was lemon basil or had any citrus flavor, I would not think that at all. And I would think this is a very manly beer.
Yep. Oh, wait till you belch it.
Oh, there it is.
Burps
like bacon, huh?
Yeah, try to get one up there, and you'll taste a little bit of citrus.
See what I can do.
Yeah. No, it's good.
He just got the hiccups.
Trying.
Motherfucker.
I was doing
I wanted to burp it.
No, it's good.
Now I got a loose tooth. God damn it.
But the NOLA Brewing Company, which they have a good. So I talked to you a little bit about the Urban South. They had the fucking dog dishes, and they had like they had pool tables and stuff. It was a bar.
Mm-hmm.
But they also had like kids' toys and stuff like that.
That's the kids thing.
Yeah, you went off on a tangent about there should be no kids in a bar.
No, I half-heartedly, I would say 3/4-heartedly agree with you on that.
I don't disagree, but I think that what they're after is that they want to be that neighborhood joint where people can come down and they can push their kids in a stroller and walk their kids on a dog and stop in and have a beer or two and then move on. And
that's an ice cream parlor. That's an ice cream
parlor. But they're trying to be the brewery, the equivalent, you know. And I don't fault them for that.
I don't fault them for it, but I think it's not the niche you want to try to put towards your beer.
What I have noticed is that at Urban South and at NOLA and at Deanie's, the bartenders were not the nicest people. They, usually a bartender he's everybody's best friend.
Yeah.
He's gonna be cordial.
First of all, are they dudes?
She.
I was gonna say.
At Urban South it was ladies. At NOLA and at Deanie's or Seafood it was dudes. The ladies were nicer, but still not very welcoming.
You can't blame them. They live in New Orleans.
Well, yeah. But the guys, I mean, especially the guy at Deanie's Seafood, that guy was a jagoff. I mean, I really wanted to say something to him, like, dude, you're in the wrong business. If you're going to be a bartender and walk around with resting douchebag face and be pissed off at the fucking world because you're a bartender at a very good seafood place, you're in the wrong business.
Well, he
Find another line of work.
Upset he caught his brother with his wife or something.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
That
Yeah, we don't know, right?
There. I mean,
we
it
don't
could
know
have
what he's dealing with.
Could have been a bad day.
Yeah.
So this past weekend, my wife and I went with my.
You caught your wife with your brother?
No.
Okay, good. That's good.
We went with my brother-in-law and his wife to a venue in Redbud, a local nearby town, and so there's kind of two interesting things about it. One was, are you familiar with the Rizzuto show here?
Yeah. Well, you went to Vice then,
right? I wasn't gonna say that because we had a bad experience. But, but that's okay. No, it's fine. It wasn't.
So we're not doing a commercial for them. We're telling them, fuck Vice.
Right.
No, is that a bar? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's called Vices. Yeah.
And I wanted to try their beer.
Yeah. So
they make their own beer there?
Well,
O'Fallon Brewing makes
a Rizzuto. I think it's called
Taking Care of
Rizness. And it's
gay.
Yeah, the name's not that great, but the beer is actually pretty good. We enjoyed it. And so the guys were there from the show, and they were doing autographs and whatever, and you could get a 6-pack and they'd sign the pack, whatever. But they also just were selling beer at the bar.
Right.
Sure.
So it was good. It was tasty. Anyway, my wife, who doesn't drink beer, was getting a rum and diet. And the first round, my brother-in-law was getting the round, so he didn't get her drink right away, so he went back after getting these 3 Rizzuto beers, goes to the bar and says, rum and diet. But it was loud in there. There's music going on. There's lots of people yelling and stuff. So he says, I need a rum and diet. Bartender girl comes back with a Budweiser.
Doesn't even sound
the cap off, hands it to him. He goes, no, I wanted a rum and diet. And she rolls her eyes at him and is like,
oh, Jesus.
And turns around and walks away and gets the rum and diet, comes back. And he's just like, what the hell? You're pissed at me because you got the order wrong? He's like, I didn't stutter. I'm not holding the Budweiser and said, give me one of these.
Wow.
Budweiser does kind of sound like rum diet.
No, not even close. You're a bartender, too.
Get it. Yeah, I agree. So that was a little irritating. She kind of gave him...
Yeah.
But the rest of the night was good. It was a good time. The beer was good. The band was awesome.
Did you get another round of drinks? Did you go to the same bartender? Or different?
They had like
different.
3 different
Okay,
bartenders.
so you got
at the
lucky
same-
and
yeah,
you had a
never
different
know.
one. Yeah.
I actually went. I went back later. Had the same bartender. She was fine.
And
so-
she was fine. Well, she was trying to earn back her tip.
right.
You know.
It was the Teenage Douchebags, wasn't it?
Teenage Dirtbags.
Dirtbags.
Yep. And it was a 90s cover band,
that
which
sounds pretty good.
was surprisingly really cool. Like, I kind of went into it like, I don't know. I mean,
How many times I'm going to hear Bop?
I'm obviously a fan of the 90s music's my favorite, but you never know what they're going to play. And that was actually pretty awesome.
Was there any Bop?
They did not play
No
Bop.
Hanson, huh?
They did mix in the occasional kind of odd song that you're like, oh, I'm surprised they'd play that. But it was
A lot of Backstreet.
no, there
Backstreet's
wasn't
Back.
a lot of
Patty
hip-hop.
Cake.
Yeah.
It was funny though. They were playing a Beck song, and then mixed in Fresh Prince of Bel Air into the middle of it.
Well, that's
so it was
kinda
pretty
cool,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah. But we were some of the older people there. I expected everybody there would be in their 40s. You know, people of the 90s. So there's all these like 20 somethings there that barely know these songs.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were just fans of the show, the guys from the show.
Mm-hmm.
But so he would be playing a song and then be like, "Oh, see, you guys might not know this one," and it was like a totally famous song, and I'm like, "How the fuck would nobody know?"
You guys
this
are going to
song,
know this one. It's by a small band out of Seattle, Nirvana. This one's
Right.
called "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Yeah, I don't think he played any Nirvana. They did play some Foo Fighters,
Yeah.
but I was kind of surprised. No Nirvana in a '90s cover song.
Yeah, well,
They did Pearl Jam, and I mean, they did all kinds of different stuff. But it was a good time. It was fun, and it's
I've
an
heard
interesting
things.
venue.
I've
so
heard about that place.
they've got the regular bar area, which just looks like a local tavern, and then
Is
this-
Vice's the one in the corner?
Yeah,
it's
kind
right
of,
no,
before
it's
the
like a
corner.
block
It's,
down.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's us. It's our way on.
It's kind of a shithole, though.
Looks
Well,
like one to the outside,
yeah,
but
I
I don't
know.
know.
It used to be called something else. I think
was
I've
called
been there
something
when
else,
it was
yeah.
was something before.
Vice
that,
only
yeah.
been open two years,
2
3
years.
years.
This
It's
was
kind
their
of a biker
2-year
bar too,
anniversary.
isn't it? Don't
I
they have a
know
lot of
about
bikers that roll through there? Maybe
I-
they used to. Maybe when it was
yeah.
the previous ownership or whatever.
Yeah, it was a good time, and they have
Yeah.
a legit stage and sound system and place to listen to
When
a
was
live
this?
band.
Saturday?
So, I think so. Saturday.
I'm a little
That
pissed.
was
At you.
Saturday.
I'm a little pissed at you right now. You didn't
Hey,
call me up and invite me. I'm just saying.
I would not have gone, except my wife is apparently obsessed with the Rizzuto show,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
and
listen
my
to it every
brother-in-law
day.
also listens to him every day. So the two of them conspired to go. I just went along with,
Right on.
you know.
Yeah,
but-
I listened to him.
You're
Yeah.
forgiven.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't.
She's
invite
not.
you.
She's not. She's in trouble.
I'll give her shit
Yeah.
next time. Third anniversary.
No, you know, some
no,
of the bands.
Moon's down there all the time.
Oh, really?
They're always down there
Oh, okay.
playing.
Some of the
didn't know that.
bands that play locally here in southwestern Illinois,
Mhm.
there's one that plays up at Hopskeller. I can't remember the name of it, but man, they're really good. I mean, there's some really good bands playing
Mhm.
around here lately. There's a guy, and talk amongst yourselves while I look this up. But there's a guy that's going to be playing at Stubborn, who's pretty fucking.
Oh, it's the
famous.
dude from The Urge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's got 2
yeah,
dates now.
2 dates, yeah.
what's
We're
his
going to
name?
go. One's on the 27th, I think.
Yeah, it's
in
Steve
December.
something. It's shit.
Yeah, it's the dude from The Urge.
Steve, the singer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it
that's
is.
a cool dude. You know what else he does? Runs the hot dog joint. What's the name of that? There's 2 of them in St. Louis, I think. Maybe 3. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, it's fucking delicious. Like, all they sell is hot dogs, but it's like,
Was it the one like at Home Depot?
no. It's way better than that. It's like a legit store, and it's
Well,
like
there's
gourmet.
okay, so
you
there's
know,
a hot dog stand on Woodson, and it's a
I think it's called
building.
Steve's Hot Dogs. It's
Yeah,
fucking
Steve Ewing.
awesome. Steve Ewing, yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yes,
he's
if you're in
Urge
St.
and-
Louis, check out Steve's Hot Dogs. There's one in like Tower Grove area, and then one on the hill. Man, it's good.
Good
like
stuff.
Yeah.
they cover it in
But the
all
fact
kinds of
that this
crazy
guy's
shit.
coming to our little burb.
Yeah, that's
Well,
kind of
he's
crazy.
St. Louis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's doing 2 shows. He
He
did the
did,
first show, and there was so much reaction. I mean, it hadn't even
Yeah.
happened yet. And there was just so much reaction on Facebook and
Mm-hmm.
social media that he's like, yeah, I'll do 2. And
He
That's
just
awesome,
did one
you know?
about 5 months ago at Top Shooters.
really,
Yeah.
yeah. That's cool. No, I think it's great. But the point is
It's
that
an acoustic set.
even if it's a guy from the Urge, or if it's just a bunch of local yokels that are out there, there's some really good
Yeah.
bands out there. There's
Sure.
some really talented guys, and I don't know. I like listening to them.
So I gotta say, I got asked to do something that I'm surprised I agreed to do.
YMCA tribute band.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
Well,
I'm the construction worker.
You've been pondering. I know what you're going at.
No, I don't think you do.
Well, hold on.
Go on.
Was it gay porn?
How'd you know?
Again.
Again.
It keeps happening
Third
to you.
time.
They told me if I didn't have to catch the whole time, so I'm in.
No.
I thought it was joining a band again. You've been pondering that for a while.
So that's a separate thing.
Okay.
We can get into that another time. But as you recall, do you recall what I did as a pastime in high school? You've maybe seen videos of this.
Masturbate.
Yeah.
I have seen those videos.
Acapella quartet.
Oh, okay.
You knew that, right?
I think so, yeah.
Here comes trouble.
Yeah.
So are you going to join the barbershop?
No. But two of the guys that I sang with in high school, who are still my best friends, one of them asked us to sing at his church.
Okay.
So sing a religious song for Christmas Eve.
Well, you're going to get struck down. you're going to burst into flames. Right. You walk into that building, you're on your own, brother. I mean, I'm not even going to be there with a fire
garlic
extinguisher.
and sunglasses.
Yeah, you're done for.
So he said, "Hey,
he's going to come in wearing a fucking
people have been asking us to do
suit.
this," and I was like, kind of not really. I didn't really feel like I was committing to this, but I did say I could be open to something.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, it's planned for this time on this date. We're going to do this. I'm like, what the fuck?
Get your
just
tux.
happened?
I already know what it looks like.
So I will be singing a cappella in a church in about a month.
For Christmas? Like Christmas music? Or
Well, we're doing a song that is kind of a Christmassy song. But,
shit, we're there.
But he's also
what
saying
church is
they
it?
want to do like multiple songs, which I don't know about.
Yeah.
Which I'm thinking, that's weird. Like, strangers show up at this church and sing multiple songs.
That's what people do,
care.
man.
Yeah.
They just-
Sunday morning. No, usually you sing one song. Like,
Well-
somebody comes in and sings the special music song
Yeah.
while they're
what
doing
church?
an
You guys are
offering or
super
something.
talented.
What church is it?
I'm not even sure. It's in Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Is there a Zion or something? No, that maybe not. I don't know.
I will figure
I'll
that
get
out.
back to
There
you.
is a Zion.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's it. I don't know. Anyway.
I went to
Well,
a car.
we're going to
I went
post
to
it
a
out
car
there. We're going to
show.
get all the loaders to show up and
Oh my God. We're gonna have t-shirts.
out
Loader
front.
Palooza.
It's the only church with tailgating. I went to a car show at that Zion church.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
a really nice facility.
Is the Zion the one that's like way out in the country?
Yep.
Okay, that's not the one that I'm thinking of, but that's the name that popped in my house.
So you don't know what
In
songs
my
you're
mouth.
singing?
Well,
Are they like traditional, like Christian?
no, the
like,
one I know we're gonna do is
Or
a
Christmas
song
music.
by a group called Glad.
I got nothing.
Just as I am. I'm
Okay.
sure you don't know it, but after that we might try to do some like classic,
Christmas
but it's got to
songs
be
or whatever.
religious, right? You're
Sure,
not gonna sing
yeah.
Frosty the Snowman in church, so
or Pop
Why the hell not?
it's got to be
Pop
like
Thine
the first
Pussy.
Noel. Pop Thine.
Pop Vine.
But I'm
Yeah.
now I'm like,
It's
okay,
the remix.
I only half-heartedly agreed to sing one song, and then it was multiple, and I don't know what they are yet.
Right.
And now I'm like freaking out. Like, this is
Now we're gonna do a box set.
And there's that hole being struck down
Yeah.
by
Well,
lightning.
yeah, we'll put you out. It'll be all right.
Oh my
Be all
god.
right. No,
It's
so
gonna be
have you ever thought about doing
awkward
the?
at best.
It's not the barbershop, but don't they? Isn't there like a men's?
There is Cascade
the
Trail
Cascade-
Chorus.
Yeah. So have you ever thought about doing that?
If by thought about you mean like refusing.
Oh, you won't do it?
When we were in high school, we sang with that group.
Did you?
Just
Okay.
one time, like
Yeah.
at a show, and
Right.
that it was a good time. Good people. I don't want to do that.
Do they drink beer?
No,
Actually, they might. That could be a good time.
it might be
Yeah.
two people.
Well,
No, I don't wanna do that.
And I've known a couple guys that. Well, whenever I was involved with Cub Scouts when the kids were younger, there was a couple of dads that were involved with it, and they asked me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm
right.
good. I don't think I want to do
Hey,
that."
you want to come sing?
But after I started listening to Mike Rowe, you know who Mike Rowe is, right? He was in a barbershop quartet,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a baritone, and he's actually fairly well known in the barbershop quartet community, believe it or not. And
I'm sure Dirty Jobs helped that, but
well, no, I think even before Dirty Jobs, he was.
We've heard of him.
Yeah, I hadn't, but no, but I
oh
think,
yeah, little Mikey Rowe around the corner.
but I don't. I can't. I can sing karaoke. I can do bullshit.
I've heard you do
crooner,
some Mac the Knife.
just a little Bobby Darin. I can do some Sinatra. I can do some Harry Connick. But that's basically just talking.
Yeah,
It's not that.
but here's the
doesn't
thing.
take a whole lot of
So you
talent.
got two good friends, churchgoers, that ask you to perform with them.
Yeah.
You can't say no. Like, if you say no, you're the guy who
you're
is
the
keeping
asshole.
them
Hold
from
on.
performing.
Do they listen to this podcast?
I don't think so. That's
then
why I'm
fuck
talking
them.
about this. I
Then-
know.
then you know what? No. If they're not supporting your endeavors,
I
why should
agree.
you support their endeavors? You're not going
Well-
to church, Jared. I'm not going to let you get struck down.
The Lord works in mysterious ways, Ryan.
The Lord
So-
giveth, and the Lord taketh away.
No,
Maybe
I
this
think,
is how I'll get more listeners to the podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm
we
with
need to
it.
get business cards made up, and I'll hand them out at church. Get a
Yeah.
load of this.
Yeah.
You like that? You like what you heard up on stage?
Yeah, you like some
you
of
get a
that?
little more of this sultry sounds of my voice
You
every Sunday night at about 11:30.
We got this guy. His name's Joe.
Yeah.
Pop thine pussy. Pop, 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 pop.
I will not be handing out business cards.
No.
So whenever you were younger, I mean, do you still go to church on Christmas Eve?
No.
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 Sometimes, or
Yeah, it all depends on if the girls are going.
Yeah.
And I don't fight it on
when my
special
mother-in-law
occasions.
was still alive, we did every Christmas Eve. We would go to her church, and my grandmother never did. Even though I think I would consider her more religious than my mother-in-law. But yeah, every Christmas Eve we did the whole candlelight service, and honestly, I kind of miss it. You know, I mean,
Really?
I'm not a religious person, but just the camaraderie of it. You know, it was weird a little bit. Some of it was they did take they weren't Catholic, but they did take a communion.
Mm-hmm.
I never did. One of the weirdest thing was that my junior high basketball coach, who had been divorced and remarried, he showed up one Christmas Eve, and he was, I don't know, somehow they honored him. I don't know what he was brought up on stage, and I was like, no shit, that's my fucking basketball coach from 8th grade.
Nice.
And I was like, that's interesting. But I don't know. I just think I didn't like leaving the Christmas Eve party at my grandma's house to go, or my parents' house to go to church service.
Mhm.
But when I was there, I was like, this doesn't suck. It was kind of cool. I mean,
Did you participate in
Got
the
to
play
sing,
or
yeah.
whatever?
Did you sing?
no, I mean, they did sing
They
the
dress you up as Jesus
the
and-
basic Christmas hymns, and that's kind of cool. I like Christmas music. I mean,
Yeah.
I hate it.
do you
I
really?
fucking
Christmas music?
hate Christmas music.
Like across the board, religious and secular?
So what do you think
All the way.
about
None of it.
102.5 KEZK
I hate
playing
it.
Christmas music? They were playing it like 2 weeks ago.
I know. So and my girls love it, and they listen to it all the time. So they all get in the truck, and I told my daughter, and I tell her this every year, and it's like she forgets. You get one trip with Christmas music,
That's it. The whole season?
whole season.
Oh shit.
One trip, you pick it, I'll play it.
So
One
if I'm
ride.
her, I'm saving that for Christmas Eve.
Oh, she saves it. She's gonna save it for a ride to Florissant. Was gonna save it.
Yeah.
She's gonna save it for an hour. But yeah, that's
Well,
it.
now she can cruise on her own. She can listen to Christmas music all she
And
wants.
they do.
But yeah, in your car though, you're saying one time. That's it.
If I'm there, I got up Sunday morning, and Christine was already up. She was cooking because we had Thanksgiving yesterday, or our Thanksgiving. Christmas music on the TV.
Yeah.
I got up, walked right in. It's football, honey. I don't know what you're doing. Well, I just had it on
It's
until
still
you got
November.
up.
It's
Yeah.
not even Jesus'
It's the-
month yet.
Now I did put my trees up already.
Did you really?
Yeah, they're
Whoa,
both
whoa.
up.
Wow.
We cleaned the house, and I was like, "Fuck it, it's simple now and everything." So, yeah, I put both up, the one upstairs and downstairs, because
I
I was
gotta
gonna
do,
wait till Friday, but
You got a spare tree laying around that I can borrow?
no, they're both up.
Are you needing a tree? What are you talking about?
I am. Well, I we put up our main tree, and it's usually the day after Thanksgiving or the weekend after Thanksgiving, and that's it. And then we have a little tree that we've had since our first apartment, her and I, and that tree has boy, it has seen some travels. It was in our basement at our first house, and then it's been around. It was in my basement at my parents' house. I took it from them. And then whenever my mother-in-law passed away and the old man didn't want to put a tree up, we gave it to him. And the same ornaments, really. They just kind of travel with it.
Yeah.
And then we brought it back to the house, and we put new lights on it, new ornaments. And then we took it when my sister got sick, and she was in the hospital last year. We took it to the hospital. So that thing it's traveled. It's been around. And anyway, it's back at the house. And she wants to, and it's like a 3-foot tree. And I'm like, it's a great tree. I got nothing against that tree. But I'm having Christmas at my house with my family, my dad's side of the family. And I feel like, well, number one, we're going to be in the basement. I feel like I got to have a full-size tree.
Yeah, sure.
If I'm going to have Christmas over there and everybody's going to be, cavorting around the tree, it needs to be a full-on Christmas tree.
Yeah. So I'm confused.
And she doesn't want me to spend the money on buying another tree.
You got this little tree.
Yeah.
But what have you always done at your house?
Oh, we have a big. Well, we've done all kinds of different things. Yeah. We've had real ones. We had a fake one that we had for the longest time that we got at our old house. It was like a 9-foot fucking tree. And when we moved into the house, we didn't have vaulted ceiling. We had to cut that sumbitch down. So I modified this tree, and it lasted until 2 years ago. And so it lasted us, I don't know, like 17 years. We had that same tree. And so we finally bought a pre-lit, nice artificial tree a year or two ago, and that's what we put up. But every once in a while, we get this wild hair. Well, we're going to go to the real tree this year, and we go and get the real tree, and then we realize the error of our ways whenever we're dragging this fucking dead ass tree out my backyard.
You said you've already got yours up, so I'm assuming a fake tree.
Yeah, we did. The first year we moved into this house, we did an artificial. Went down, cut it down.
No, you did a real tree.
Yeah, real tree. Oh, yeah, real tree over there at Eckert's, and sawed it down, and everybody loved it.
That's the one that ended up in my backyard before we knew each other.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
But so did Mike's.
And
they both ended up in the back of my yard.
So yeah, and then that's what it is.
They got rid of them. They took care of it.
Toss it over to Ryan's.
And then you drag that fucking thing out of your door, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's
right. Needles everywhere.
Everywhere. So I was like, that won't happen again.
Right. I killed a vacuum cleaner with a Christmas tree one year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I destroyed a vacuum cleaner trying to clean up that shit.
And I've gone through Christmas trees like our neighbor's gone through barbecue pits. And because once a strand I always get the pre-lits, and once a strand goes out, I don't like to wrap lights. I just don't like doing it, so I'll throw it away. And
well, we got lucky when we were first married. We bought an artificial tree, and we spent a little bit more, not crazy amount, but we didn't get the cheapest one we could find.
Right.
But we just lucked into it, and we happened to get a tree that looked very realistic. And we've had it ever since. We've still got it 18, 20 years later, whatever. Yeah. And every year we get people saying, "Oh my God, that's not real. That looks totally real." It's very convincing. Where our in-laws have had a couple different artificial trees that just look fake. As soon as they put it up, it just looks fake and stupid.
Right.
And no offense. And so I don't know. Well, like I said, we didn't go out of our way to find one that was real. We just got lucky. Yeah. And it's been great. We love the tree. But at the same time, I wish kind of we had a real one.
Was it the kind you have to plug in?
I don't want to fuck with a real one. But
right. But you have to plug in all the branches, or you have to hook in all the branches?
So it's like 3 sections. No, the branches are on hinges. And so there's 3 different sections, and they just sort of flop out.
Yeah. You just got to fluff them up.
You got to fluff it.
And it's not pre-lit, so we do put our own lights on it. But we change the colors every couple of years.
Yeah.
And I say my wife does the whole thing.
I do like the Christmas tree day, the day that we put the tree up. We have a pre-lit tree, but I put extra lights on. I want that motherfucker to be seen from space. I light it up real good. And then the kids and the wife, they put the ornaments on. I enjoy that day a lot.
I do too, but see, I can't get them to. So I put the trees up, and then we went to the store, and I said, get boxes of candy canes. I want to hang candy canes.
Right.
In addition to the star.
Sure.
And all that shit.
Yeah.
There's candy canes, and the trees are up. And I put the fucking runners on the bottom and everything, so it looks nice. Their job is to hang the ornaments and the fun stuff,
the
I
garland
figured.
and shit like that. Yeah.
No.
They don't do that.
We got a green one upstairs. They're both just 6 foot cheap
a full
ones.
month.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah, they might do it. They might do it Friday or Saturday. I don't know. I got a green one upstairs, and then they wanted a white one, so I put white one downstairs. And then that's where we do Christmas downstairs.
Right
so.
on.
Yeah, I have to admit, if it was up to me, I wouldn't fuck with it. As much as I say I like it and we have a tree that looks great and whatever, I don't want to mess with it, especially decorating it.
Yeah.
So my wife does all that, but at the same time, she's also the like kind of the controlling personality. Love you, honey.
Yeah.
Who, you know, doesn't want you messing with it if it doesn't look the way she
Our
wants.
next episode will be held at another studio.
Divorce court on Get a Load of This. But,
Judge Wapner is our guest presiding.
We all
Well,
appreciate.
here's where you went wrong, Jared. You probably should have never said.
I appreciate you putting the tree up, honey, and all the decorations, and it looks great. Good job.
Yeah.
But
Good job.
yeah.
No,
Anyway.
I love that. I do love Christmas time as much as I hate Halloween.
Right.
I equally love Christmas time.
Now I gotta say, I've had, let's just say, more than one person.
Agree with me.
No,
Oh,
tell me that you complain about holidays too much.
holidays. Period.
Well, particularly Halloween, but then
him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. I've known that for years now.
right, like to the point of they're like, I just
right,
fast
enough.
forward. Like
Enough.
he's complaining.
you know,
about
tired of
Halloween,
hearing
like,
Ryan bitch
skip
about
it,
holidays.
Skip that. I'm
Dude,
like,
Halloween's actually a pretty kick-ass fucking... I listen to that.
Fair enough.
It's a kick-ass fucking... It is. It's cool.
But you be you. So
I've had good
fuck those
Halloweens.
people.
We talked about this at Halloween.
Right.
You know, whenever it's on a Friday or Saturday, it's
Right.
good. They should just move it to the weekend.
Well, they're petitioning to move it to the last Saturday of the month.
They should do that.
Honestly,
should totally
though,
do it.
This past Halloween, I thought of you. I was like, I think it was in the middle of the week,
Yeah,
right?
it was like a
was.
Tuesday.
And it
It's
was
a Tuesday,
rainy
and it's raining.
not great weather. Yeah, it sucked. And I was
I think-
like, this is Ryan's
Yeah.
reason right here why he hates it.
Now, if anybody has a problem with me bitching about Valentine's Day and they're a man, then check your sack, homie, because if you are either whooped and you're I gotta buy candy and I gotta buy jewelry because Zales told me so and the diamond is forever and fuck you.
Why do you hate your wife?
No, I love my wife, but I've convinced her as well that it's you should buy your wife all that stuff just because you don't need
anytime.
you don't need a bullshit holiday. You don't need
I don't
overproduced
I don't
commercial.
play into Valentine's Day.
But what other holidays do I hate? This is not because of the defense of Ryan.
I think you listed more than one.
Well-
Definitely Valentine's Day, definitely Halloween.
those are
you
those
even
are the big ones.
I
Yeah.
thought you even implied Thanksgiving was kind of
No, I like Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I like being with my family. I like the food. I like all
Yeah.
that. I like Christmas.
Where you land on Arbor Day?
Arbor Day,
Flag
it
Day.
doesn't affect me one way or the other. Flag Day solid. All the
See, I'm
all the-
not-
solid.
Now, I'll say this. I'm not a huge fan of Christmas. And it's not so much like a bah humbug or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I
said you
do.
hated Christmas songs.
Yeah, I hate Christmas songs. I absolutely fucking
Yeah,
hate
you're like my
Christmas songs. All of them.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of unnecessary spending. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
all about the whole, hey, love thy neighbor, love thy brother, and let's all be,
Well, let's go on to crippling debt together.
right. That's stupid. So I've actually spearheaded this with both sides of my family, or both sides of the family, her family and my family. And what we do now is instead of buying my brothers and sister, you know how we'll do like a gift exchange. Or we'll do that.
You draw names or something like that.
We don't do that no more.
Right.
So we'll put a charity in a hat.
Yep.
And we draw a charity out, and then that same money, because anything that you're going to buy me for $25, I'll just go buy myself.
Right.
And I'll probably get it right
Fuck
anyhow.
that. I want some shit.
I don't want anything.
Charity.
So
can
we
kiss
just
my ass.
decided this year to
And then
do something similar.
And then we do that with her side now too.
That's good. That's good. So we used to draw names on my dad's side of the family, and now the kids, the only one that's really kind of getting screwed on the whole deal is O, because he's the youngest, and so he's not going to get all the gifts that all of his cousins have gotten over the years because he's 12. But I talked to him about it, and he's like, "No, I'm good. I'm good with it," because we decided this past year that we're not doing a gift exchange anymore. We're going to give it to a charity, and whoever's hosting Christmas gets to choose the charity. So this year I host it, and I told...
Of course, the first year.
No, it's actually
when
the third...
someone has to decide,
year.
Ryan decides.
It's actually the third year that the cousins have been hosting it, but it's the first year that someone gets to decide where the charity is. And so I asked the boys. I said, "What do you think?" Oliver had no real opinion. He's like, "Oh, I don't care. Any of them's good." And Chuck, he said, "Oh, I think St. Jude's is a good one." I was like, "Solid gold." Solid gold. I'm not, no question. I'm not going to debate it. I'm not going to let anybody else weigh in on it. That's what we're going with.
Okay.
And so every family, I haven't even told this to the family yet, but every couple, so every husband and wife.
What?
I think it's $100. I think we're just going to say give $100.
So I was going to say, what's the format here? Does everybody actually like give it at Christmas and say, "Here you go, we collect," or is it just
I
like
plan on having
your own?
I
give
plan
it at
on
your
having
own
a
leisure?
big check.
Okay.
And I'm
like a big 6-foot rubber check.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I want a big fucking.
Wow.
I want a
This
big
motherfucker looks like
check.
a food stamp. What are you talking about?
But I want to take all the money and I'm going to submit it to St. Jude's.
So are they giving it on Christmas? Is that the kind of?
They don't know that yet, but they will. I mean, because historically we've all bought. You know, we used to draw names, and everybody bought a $50. $50 was the number, and it was like kind of like what Joe says. Like, if it's $50, I'm gonna fucking buy it myself. You know. And everybody struggled to come up with a $50 gift, and it's like, you know what? We're all very fortunate people.
Right.
We've got
Pass that
money. We've got things that we don't even need. That if we were all to throw in that same $50 towards St. Jude's or towards, you know, some other charity, whatever it may be, that's going to do a hell of a lot more.
Sure.
You
Good.
should.
Good for you guys.
If I could interject on that, just a hair, you should do it St. Jude, of course, but Haley's Herd.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right.
So,
you're right. Yeah, yeah.
She's
What is that?
Haley is she grew up with my daughter. She's same grade as my daughter, and she was diagnosed early, and she still goes to St. Jude, but
Early detection.
early,
Yeah.
but she has a thing called Haley's Herd, and it's the fundraiser for St. Jude.
Right.
And they
we
do runs
the
and
beer
they,
tabs for her
yeah,
too.
I don't know if they do that anymore. Yeah, they do these tabs like that.
Yeah.
St. Jude's like, I don't know, it's like a dime or something every time they got one. I don't know, whatever
I'm
it was.
pretty sure we raised millions in beer tabs.
Yeah. My mom used to send bags of that shit all the time.
Yeah.
And but yeah. So if you do and you think of it
specifically say for Haley's Herd
through Haley's Herd, St. Jude.
I'll do that
Because it's a Waterloo connection.
Yeah. No, I think that's cool, and I think that it's even cooler that I didn't want to be the one that came up with it. I wanted the kids to kind of say, yeah, this is what, and I was kind of hoping it would come with St. Jude's.
And if any listeners out there are thinking the same thing that we are, donate to St. Jude's. Donate to Haley's Herd. It's a good cause. We did it last year. It was St. Jude's. This year is something through Christine's or their church.
Yeah,
something with they do backpacks for underprivileged kids.
Right. Well, you got to be careful with the charities, and I'm a fan of being charitable. I've covered that on other episodes, but there are some out there where the balance between how much they pay their administrators versus how much actually goes to charity, and then from what I understand, St. Jude's is a solid. They the money goes to the right spot. They're doing things the right way, and so it's all good. It's all for the right reasons, and it's the right time of year.
If you've already given to your charity of choice, Joe's got an Amazon account that he would love.
Oh yeah,
to have.
that's right. I do got a Christmas wish list. It is.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers need to come correct. Come with it.
Maybe we'll say. Maybe I'll figure out if I can publish a Amazon wish list on Instagram and Facebook.
What is this fuck swing?
What is this? We'll have to figure out what goes on the wish list, but Jesus, PG-13.
Yeah, ball gag.
Speaking of PG-13, have you seen Deadpool's new trailer?
No.
I did. God, you gotta see
they got a Deadpool 3?
No.
It's Deadpool. What's it?
Once Upon a Deadpool.
Once Upon a Deadpool.
It's a Christmas special. So I think it's just Deadpool 2 edited to PG-13, but then they spliced in him and Fred Savage.
And he's reading the fucking story to Fred
from A Princess Bride.
Fred Savage.
So it's Fred Savage sitting in bed just like in A Princess Bride. And he's like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, and
I guess he can't say fuck.
Deadpool's like, he's like,
you can say it one time for PG-13.
He's like, you need me as much as I need you. And Fred's like, I don't need you. He's like, why can't I just go? And he goes, you can go when I untie you.
Fred Savage is like a very accomplished director now.
Fred Savage goes, you're not even Marvel. Yeah, we are. He's like, yeah, but you're like Marvel
sanctioned
produced by
Fox.
Yeah. It's like if the Beatles had an album produced by Nickelback.
Yeah,
it's like
Nickelback.
It's great music, but it sucks.
It's a great trailer. Yeah. And for everybody who's seen it, we apologize for butchering it, but no, it's fucking hilarious. I'll show it to you when we get done here. It's fucking great stuff. But here's to Fred Savage. Merry Christmas. Here's to the Princess Bride. Well, is that his great? Well, I guess that in the Wonder Years.
Wonder Years.
Yeah. But, I mean, as far as movies, that's probably his most well-known role.
I hope he makes a comeback like, what's his name? Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
Because I think Fred Savage can be just as good of an actor as Jason Bateman.
I just watched Goldmember the other night, and he's the mole. Yeah. I don't know. Jason Bateman he's funny. He's pretty much fucking amazing.
He's real good at doing that straight man stuff. You know.
Now, I will say, I just watched. I happened to turn it on while we were eating food, just for background noise. But it's a good movie. The Breakup. In fact, I had the end of it on when you got here tonight.
Yeah,
and
he's the realtor.
He's in that, but it must. I forget when that came out, but it had to be before.
It was the beginning of his resurgence.
Right.
It was the very beginning.
He was definitely like a minor character. Yeah. He didn't have that look that he has now. But he was funny, but it wasn't the same as what we're used to now.
Well, he's funny for kind of the wrong reasons. Yeah. He's funny because he's so straight and he's just blunt. And
he says that would have been like Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller, the Owen or the Wilson brothers.
Yeah.
And there was another one that was with them guys.
Well, there's the guy who's always with Vince Vaughn, the director,
John Favreau.
Yeah, John Favreau. Yeah,
and he's in that movie too. Yeah,
and of course
he goes. You want to play those games? Right. You want to play those games? That's fine. I'll get Polacks with no futures.
And every shirt he's got on in the movie is like this Polish this or Polak that or whatever. Yeah.
That's a good flick. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's funny.
And there's Jennifer Aniston partially nude, which is always a redeeming quality.
Yeah.
I gotta say, my wife has been watching rewatching Friends from the beginning to the end for about the 4th or 5th time recently. And it does hold up.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're talking 20, 25-year-old
nobody
humor.
has a cell phone. Right. No, the world today, the real world today looks way different than Central Park.
Yeah, right.
But it's still, the comedy holds up and their
big
interactions
part of it,
hold
I think, is Jennifer Aniston's nipples are pretty often
prominent. They're a featured character.
They are
sticking out.
They were the last friend. But what makes a great sitcom and what's a lasting sitcom, and this is universal: multiple wanted characters and a simple plot.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at How I Met Your Mother. You had
same thing.
You had something that appealed to everybody,
and you had to have and multiple characters because Jason Segel was people liked him. They liked Allison Hannigan and Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, it resurrected his career.
Yeah, right.
If it wasn't for that, he'd be just Doogie Howser for the rest of his fucking life. You know?
Well,
and that's what Fred Savage needs.
Right. Well, he needs to get hooked up with then Chuck Lorre.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And I think Chuck's not very discriminating. He'll try anything for a moment.
But he's successful.
Well, he's very successful, yeah.
If Chuck Lorre touches something, it's on.
Every single show. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to, that's an interesting.
Do I know Chuck Lorre? What are you talking about?
Big Bang Theory.
Like the
2.5 Men.
Or something? Or
Mike and Molly.
Yeah. He's a king of sitcoms from 1990 to now. Late 90s to now.
Yeah.
He's 2.5 Men. Did you say 2.5 Men already?
2.5 Men.
Yeah. That's probably, I mean, that and
pretty much anything on CBS he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, it's good. He's very, very talented. It's very good. And yeah, he's like gold. He's the gold standard for sitcom producers, writers. You know, I don't know how much he writes.
I don't think he writes it all.
Yeah, but
he does
for it.
He does that. He does that new Sheldon, young Sheldon.
Yeah, right. Well, this is a long one, kids.
We did. We went long on this,
and I gotta piss like a racehorse, man.
Well,
my teeth are floating.
We got the holiday season coming up. We talked a little bit about snow and gifts and Christmas songs and church and all kinds of stuff. So
I think Ryan pointed on the doll where he was touched.
Yeah. So hey, check us out on social medias. Load this podcast.
I gotta pee.
At Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Get a load of this podcast on YouTube. Load this podcast at gmail.com on Gmail. Feel free to send us an email.
As usual,
I'm Ryan.
Fuck the
you.
Cubs.
I gotta pee.
The Cubs, yeah.
I'm Jared. That was Ryan.
This is Joe.
And get a load of this.
Sit there and fucking miserably lie to them and create these false idols in their heads.
Right.
It's terrible.
Well, my middle one was ruined by neighbor's kid.
Oh.
And he came home and told me, he's like, well, so and so said that, and I was like, well, what do you think? And he's like, well, I think he's right. And I'm like, fuck, but it was after that Christmas. I was like, all right, well, fuck it. He was at the right age or close to it. And I was like, so I told him, I was like, well, you know what? He's right. It is me and, your mom and that. And it's all, and he wasn't as upset, but he was still upset. Then the youngest, that was a tough one because I didn't want to do that one either because he's the baby. It's like, that's, I wanted to keep it going as long as I could, but he had a lot of things going on at school, people saying shit, and he was convinced that he was right. And I was like, dude, it was kind of the same thing with the oldest. I was like, you're gonna get the shit kicked out of you if you keep believing.
I don't know if I'll get his ass kicked.
Nah, yeah, he'd probably take care of things.
He's a solid boy.
Yeah, sign that little bastard up for wrestling.
You told me that.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. He's got to get his registrations and everything done, but I'm excited to see what he'll do because that kid is 120 pounds. Can you believe that? I mean, he doesn't look. He's
solid.
Yeah, he's just thick. And got a big old caboose, and he's not fat. I mean, he's just a big boy. And his brothers are totally different. I mean, they're both long and lean, and tall and skinny, like no body fat on them. And then you got the little tank.
Where's he going to do that?
It's here in town. I mean, it's
not through the school though.
No, it's Waterloo Wrestling Club. They practice up at the fairgrounds. In the arts and crafts building. I guess they got mats and they lay down mats up there and
they sweep out all the hog shit. There's plenty of room.
right. So it's cool. I'm kind of excited for it. I don't think he is. I don't know.
I think he's going to be excited when he starts whooping people's asses.
When he starts doing it, and he gets into it, and he learns. Fun. So another thing is he gets to start as a beginner, but he's a beginner 12-year-old.
Okay.
So it means he gets to wrestle other beginners that are in the same weight class. So I don't know how much age matters. It's all about weight. Sure. So you could have a fucking 9-year-old 120-pound kid, and he can go in there and whoop his ass.
Right.
Or he could get his ass whooped,
by a 9-year-old.
Or he can fight a 16-year-old.
Right. A small 16-year-old. Yeah. That and that's a whole different animal.
Fucking when I was in high school, the kid Rick Cusimano was his name. Motherfucker went to state all 4 years. He was unbelievable. But he wrestled at 145 in high school.
Right. So he's wrestling kids younger.
There was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, he wrestled anybody at
145.
At 145.
In our son's grade, who, you know who he is. Little, short, skinny kid. Real athletic. Great wrestler for his size.
Blonde-headed kid?
Yeah.
Yep.
But he would end up, sometimes he'd go to competitions and wrestle whatever girl was there because that's who was in his weight class. He only weighed like 115 pounds. And
grab her dick
is who got me signed up.
Oh, okay.
And he was telling me, he's like, man, you got to get to wrestling. And I was like, yeah, man, sign me up. So he gave me a little flyer and he's like, yeah, make sure you sign up. I fucking dropped the ball and I just lost track of shit. Yeah. And I saw him at the Mexican restaurant and at Casa and he goes, hey man, what's going on? And I'm like, fuck, I forgot to sign up for wrestling.
No.
And I was like, it'd be good to see you, but damn it, if I didn't forget. And he goes, I got you. You want to do it? Does he definitely want to do it? And I was like, yeah. And then before I got done with dinner, the kid was signed up for wrestling. Nice. I sat and ate fajitas. Basically, in that time period, the kid got signed up for wrestling all because of
Beat Stan in line.
Yeah, no, it was all right. Now I got to jump through some hoops because we missed some deadlines. He doesn't have a singlet, and I need to get him.
You think he wants to borrow mine?
A unitard.
He could just tie it in a knot in the bag.
So supposedly they got some old ones that kids have left or that are retired or gone on to high school or whatever. But then I got to buy them like wrestling shoes.
No, you don't want somebody else's.
Well, you can wash that shit. I mean, you can
Better bleach the shit out of it.
Well, yeah, I got a cycle on my washer that sanitizes stuff. I don't know.
I bet it does.
Yeah, something like that.
Whatever. It's the giggles. The people at the wash company were like, just right, sanitize there.
That'll work. No, then I got to get them headgear and wrestling shoes, and I'm like, damn, this has turned into an expensive affair.
At least seeing a
probably
hockey
got to
goalie.
get a jock strap and all that.
No, I don't think they wear jock straps, do they?
I hope they wear
No.
I don't
something.
think they wear a cup.
I don't think you're not supposed to hit someone there, you know.
But it happens.
It
It's
does happen.
incidental contact.
But it's not like getting hit by a baseball or football or helmet or
It could
something
be.
like that. Maybe.
I don't know.
Or an aged hooker.
Yeah. Anyway, so
All
what are
right.
we going to fucking talk
I don't
about
know.
here?
We got to get going. We're 12 minutes in almost.
Yeah, well, this doesn't all have to make it, right? You have the technology
Not
to
the aged hooker and
The aged hooker.
It's like a fine cheese.
Yeah.
It's like a fine Gouda.
So first week of December, does that affect what we want to talk about? Winter,
I
snow?
don't know. I mean, December 7th was
Did
the
you
day
guys
that
go
live in infamy.
sledding as... Oh, yeah, right.
I don't know. We don't want to talk
Did
about
you go
that.
sledding as kids? Did you...
Oh, yeah.
We talk about
do
the fact that there's no
snowball
fucking
fights?
snow anymore. We had a good snow, but
Just had a-
but it,
oh, well,
yeah, but I mean, like, did you? Maybe we should just hit go. But did you build tunnels like in the snow? I mean, we had enough. I mean, we had that blizzard.
Not the other day.
Right. But like we had, I think,
Yeah,
at least more than once
right.
in my childhood.
Yeah.
Snow.
We had enough snow.
82. Do you
Yeah, well,
remember?
82 was the blizzard, right? And then I know my subdivision flooded. My subdivision didn't, but like we couldn't get in and out because we lived on a hill and there was creeks. We had to.
The moat. Did the moat fill
Yeah.
up?
Well, we had to walk.
Surrounded them?
Yeah. We had to
How
walk
did the help
through.
get in?
Yeah.
We busted them. We helicopter.
Because they all had helicopters. Duh.
No, but we had, in order to catch the school bus, we had to walk through like this empty field and get over to another subdivision, and the bus picked us up from there. But it was like fucking nasty and muddy and shit because it was after the blizzard of 82 melted. It flooded every creek around for, I want to say, a few weeks. You know, we had to go over to Brookstone and catch the bus. And my dad, luckily, he was at work whenever they closed the road, so his car was parked over there. So every day he went to work, he had to walk through the same fucking field to get in his car to go to work. Now it's a street and they've connected the two. But back in 82, it was not. It was a new subdivision.
Yeah.
So,
But I think you were asking...
we had that blizzard in 82, but I don't know. I think we had another big
We also
snow
had
after
something
that.
in like, I remember it was like 89 or 90-ish. It was like ice.
That was 91.
Yeah, that was 91.
Okay.
91, because
You could get on a sled on the middle of the street and go...
yep,
You
A
could
mile.
ice skate in your backyard.
Yeah, right.
Yep. I'll tell you. Maybe we should just hit record.
Yeah.
Let's kick this thing off, and because I got a good story about the 91 that ice storm and how I fucked up a car.
Oh, shit. All right.
So yeah,
All right,
I don't know, we
let's
could
do
talk
this.
about weather. We could just talk about. Let's see where it goes.
Winter memories.
Sure.
We are back for...
Yeah.
Ah.
Come on. We're professionals here. God damn it.